How are we doing for time? Edward, are we good?
About 5 more minutes.
Okay. Any other questions or anything like that? Any other comments? No? We're good?
Do you want to share a little bit about your family background?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. I come from a real long line of musicians, and it goes back almost 200 years. I think my great-great-great-grandfather was in a brass band, I'm pretty sure. And before that, I don't know. Maybe like drums like that on the boat coming over from wherever we came. But that led eventually down the line to my mother being born in 1920. And she was very fortunate. She got to study with two people that were direct links to the halcyon years of classical music. She studied with Herbert Clark, who was John Philip Sousa's first cornetist. John Philip Sousa wrote patriotic songs like the Stars and Stripes Forever, the Washington Post March. As a child, she got to study with him. As a college student, she got to study with Schoenberg. And Schoenberg is considered the last of the truly great old-time composers. Some of his music is a little bit hard to listen to. It's a little strange, but nevertheless, he's one of the greats. So in 1948, at the age of 28 years old, she decided that she would start her own conservatory of music with two other partners. This is a private music school that still exists today, and it gives private music lessons. 62 years later, we're still in business, and we still give music lessons, and we still work one-on-one with people. Some very interesting people have come through that school in all these years. Really top-notch people. My brother and I, who are like the leaves on the tree, we're not the roots or the trunk or anything, we're like the last generation of Rhoads people to make music. He's considered by many to be the greatest guitar player that ever lived. He's still, all these years after his death, he's still in magazines all the time. He's the subject of a documentary. He's the subject of a documentary that's going on in Japan, and his career is just it's phenomenal. It really is. It's just phenomenal. I compose classical music. My sister, I also have a sister, and she actually went a little bit different way. She was artistic, and she actually ended up having her own vineyards, and she makes wine. She played guitar at first, but then decided she had enough, and she got married and had a family, and now she has her own wine company. So we've been at this a while. In fact, there's a movie that exists that was made in 1951, and it's called People Will Talk. It's with Jeannie Crane. I know you don't know who she is. Cary Grant should know who he is. And my mom's the French horn player. And there's something interesting about her. She's pretty visibly pregnant, and that's with me. And you can see it in the movie. You're very welcome. Oh, yes.
I think we're all wondering, how did your brother get in with Ozzy?
Okay, here's what happened. It's a real interesting story. It's true, too. Ozzy was here looking for guitar players, and he had given up. He was ready to go back to England. He'd been in Black Sabbath. He'd been kicked out for the third and final time, and he knew he wasn't going to go back with that band, so he was going to audition guitar players. Well, he didn't see anybody he wanted. Right before he left, right before he was ready to leave, a guy that was in a rock band called Slaughter, he told him, "You haven't seen everybody until you've seen Randy Rhoads. You got to go see him." So Ozzy said, "Okay, well, let's get him here." So the guy that knew my brother, that put him together with Ozzy, he called my brother up, and Randy said, well, Randy taught. He was carrying 53 guitar students a week, and that was like a full-time job. That was 6 days a week. And Randy said, well, I got to teach until like 10 o'clock, and I don't have any gas money and I don't really want to go. And well, my mom said, who are you talking to? And he said, well, I'm talking to this guy that wants me to go down and like audition for Ozzy Osbourne. So my mom said, well, who's he? And Randy said, well, he's pretty great. I mean, he's the singer of Black Sabbath. So my mom said, you're going. He goes, you're going. Randy had been in Quiet Riot for about 4 years. And the band at that time had not done anything. Now, this is before Bang Your Head and all that, and mental health. At that time, Riot couldn't get signed. In fact, they even did something I've never seen anybody do. They picketed record companies. They went to Warner Brothers with a placard that said, sign Quiet Riot.
That will conclude the first session. Gentlemen, if you'll thank your presenters and head to your second session at this time.
So to finish the story really quick, he went and he auditioned in a hotel room. He put a little crummy practice amp in and he started playing, and Ozzy said, my God, you're the greatest guitar player I've ever heard. You've got a job. Randy didn't even believe it. He went home, and then my mom said, you're going to join that group. That Ozzy guy, he's established in the music business. He has a name. You're going. The rest is history. Thank you very much. You've been a great audience. Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. Isn't it weird being in a school without girls? Oh, it's my pleasure to do this.
This is great.
I keep thinking, what did I not say? What should I cover? Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to talk a little bit about the music business and my own personal career and tie it all in. You know, I could have divided that talk into like 3 or 4, you know, but I'm trying to get everybody as much as I can in the period that I'm on. Yeah. Oh, it's my pleasure